Welcome to EA-UFC.
So here's the former UFC interim welterweight champion Colby Covington, and whether he's banging on the Brazilians or going at fans on Twitter, there's a lot that encompasses this total package of Colby Covington. He's a hell of a fighter, though. But
ultimately, it's about the fighting, and the fighting ability is what has carried Colby to such a great start in his UFC career. A former champion, a guy that's been in there with the very best in the division, and when he's been in there, he's been able to get his hand raised. I always go back to the Rafael dos Anjos fight, and I watch Colby put a pace on him that dos Anjos, who is also known for his cardio, could not keep. It was inspiring to watch, and if you know Colby before fighting, you know that he trains as hard as anybody in the world to try to accomplish the goal.
All right, so here he is, the Nigerian Nightmare, and you can also now call him the UFC welterweight champion. He had to go 10-0 in the UFC to finally realize that UFC belt, beat Tyron Woodley, and establish himself as the standard at 170 pounds.
And he never lost track of what was out in front of him. Even though he had to win 10 fights, Kamaru Usman understood that he would do whatever it took to become UFC champion, and when he got that opportunity, it was the wrestling, the cardio, and the ability to follow the game plan set out in front of him by Henry Hooft and Greg Jones that allowed him to blank Tyron Woodley on the scorecards and win that welterweight championship. Unbelievable performance by Usman.
Truly one of the hardest workers in the game, and if you watch that Woodley fight, you get the sense that it is going to take a Herculean effort for somebody to dethrone the new hunted at 170 pounds, Kamaru Usman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a wrestler holding a professional record of 16 wins, 2 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Colby Chaos Covington! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler holding a professional record of 19 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare Usman. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our third man in the octagon for this one.
Ready. Ready to fight.
All right, here we go with round 1, and sometimes when you have a closely contested matchup on paper, grappler versus grappler, we see a striking affair, but all indications are these guys are going to try to clinch and try to do what got them to the big show.
They will try to clinch, right? They may try and strike, but ultimately, John, they are grapplers at their core. And at their core, they need to be in contact. The only issue is normally, for both of these guys, when they're in these grappling exchanges, they never face anyone that's as diverse or as good in these positions as they are tonight. They get mirror images of themselves.
Nice hammer fist. Well, these are some excellent ground and pound strikes here, DC. There's an efficiency with which he operates in these situations.
He knows exactly when to throw, exactly when to hold, and it's allowing him to really control the grappling aspect of the fight.
There's a song there, right? Know when to hold him,
know when to fold him. Yep, absolutely.
All right, working inside the closed guard now. Man, how fun is this to watch as he continues to dole out damage with the ground and pound.
Take it back to the days of guys like Mark Coleman, just beating people up in the ground and pound. This guy is a throwback fighter that's very fun to watch.
Yeah, the Godfather would be proud. All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. Covington's got him in a crucifix, gonna work from the top now. Beautiful movement, hip work on the ground here, just outstanding with the transitions.
He is not staying in one place on the ground, and that's very important.
Great shot. Keep the pressure on.
All right, side control now, DC. You know he's in his element on the ground. A lot of tricks up his sleeve.
A lot of tricks.
All right, closed guard now. You got to be careful, though. He's got a lot of submissions off his back. All right, so inside the open guard of his opponent, you got to be careful.
He's going to start trying to move to a submission here. It looks like he's trying to attack an arm triangle. Watch triangle, watch triangle. He needs to push the arm to the side. Get his head against the back. Now watch, as he goes to the finish, watch it.
Nicely done. How about the speed on that reversal there? I mean, I know you can get out of some bad spots, but not with that type of speed.
You cannot allow him to get leverage on the bottom. What a sweep.
Good, solid strike on the ground. 32 total strikes have landed for Kamaru Usman.
He's putting him in exactly the positions he needs to be in right now. He's able to relax here, and he understands, being a veteran of so many fights, that as long as he's on top, he's winning. He feels like he's winning here.
Pretty good right hand. All right, so you got to be careful playing on the ground with this guy. You don't want to mess around for too long. Oh, nice job using his strength there to posture up. We'll see what he can do now.
He's going to start looking to land big shots from the top.
Well, hard to win fights in mixed martial arts from the bottom, but nice work here in that position by Covington. Well, he continues to manhandle him here on the ground. Close guard.
Nice guillotine attempt here. He's attacking guillotine.
And he's out. Working off of his back here. Looks like he may try to hip escape. Oh, nice job here staying busy off of his back. Nice offense from the bottom. And he landed the right hand there. Outstanding pressure from top position here by Kamaru Usman. Under a minute now to go. That's a nice jab from Colby Covington. You know, it's amazing to think not all that long ago people didn't fancy him a striker. Now, looks like a fighter who can truly do it all.
He stood 24 minutes with Kamaru Usman. No takedown attempts, no wrestling. Stood right in the pocket and had a lot of success in that fight against the welterweight champion.
Oh, strong punch there by Covington. Oh, nice land there with the punch. You see, he's taking advantage of what is an obvious edge and reach. All right, he engages in a single collar tie here. All right, so now we are on the ground. Now he is in his wheelhouse. We'll see if he can get one of his submissions to pop here tonight. All right, half guard now. Not a fighter you want in half guard against you. For the bottom fighter, what does he need to do?
He needs to secure his underhooks. He's got to be fighting for underhooks. One of the most key things you can do as a bottom fighter stuck in half guard is try to frame. You frame and push your opponent away from you. By pushing him away from you, he will then want to come back into you.
Right.
It's like when I push you back, you want to go forward. So as he comes forward, hand goes off the face, let it slip into an underhook, build up to your elbow, then go chase your single leg. This is high-level grappling, John, from a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt named Daniel Cormier.
Woo! All right, let's look back at some of the action in that round, DC. What a high-level display of offensive wrestling.
I mean, this is a joy for me to watch. I enjoy watching a guy maintain this level of wrestling for as long as he has done this. He is constantly in his opponent's face. He's constantly taking him down. Getting taken down and getting up is exhausting. Let's see how tired his opponent is at the start of the next round.
Oh, man, I'm starting to feel bad for the canvas as he lands another takedown there.
He landed another takedown, and he's doing it over and over again. What I am a massive fan of is his cardio, the ability to be able to keep this pace over and over as he hits these takedown attempts.
Man, this is some serious ground and pound here, DC. He's not just staying busy for the sake of staying busy. These strikes are doing damage.
Oh, yeah, no pity pat to this guy. This guy's trying to land, he's trying to land effective strikes.
I love watching this guy move on the ground. Another nice transition there.
Such a high-level grappler. You don't see that very often.
Well, pretty good work off of the bottom here by Covington. Oh, you don't want to be anywhere near his guillotine choke. Might have the neck here.
Watch guillotine.
He might get a finish here.
Oh, he might have got him in the choke.
Wow. Strong bottom work here, staying busy. Oh, wow, that happened quickly as the fighter reverses position there on the ground.
Unbelievable position change. Wow, what a transition.
Well, there are few things more fun to watch in mixed martial arts than these type of transitions and scrambles on the ground.
High-level grappling can really be entertaining.
All right, the unofficial numbers thus far, 76 total strikes have landed for Kamaru Usman. And landing with 78% accuracy tonight against Colby Covington. All right, so he's landed some good taken down here by Covington.
There you go. There you go.
Well, anytime you are in a ground fighting situation with this fighter, you're potentially playing with fire. Covington ground and pound from half guard. He is making these shots count. Oh, reversal here, DC.
What a way to switch the position. Fantastic movement by the bottom fighter.
Fighters back to their feet here. All right, he engages in the single collar tie. Oh, massive head kick there. We'll see if he can finish. Well, a really good second round for him thus far. After a somewhat lackluster first round, he has found the rhythm and found his striking range. Oh, and he hip tosses him to the mat. Now we'll see what he can do from here, DC.
Right into side control. He's going to try to control him, then find a submission.
Side control now. Under 2 minutes to go in our second round. Oh, the ground and pound strikes continue to rain down. The opponent better move out of harm's way. Maybe an opportunity to get a choke here.
Yeah, he lifts the head and goes under. Looks like he's trying to get a bulldog choke. Oh, wow. Oh! You don't see this very often. Most times it happens at a family.
And he's out. All right, working out of side control here. His opponent trying to control posture, but you got to be careful here. All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. Man, isn't it fun to watch this dude work on the mat?
He's unbelievable how fluid he is in his motions on the mat.
All right, so he's got the body locked down here, DC, or so it appears. This is not a guy you want anywhere near your back. Good movement by him here, transitioning very well on the ground tonight.
Step for step, he's staying with his opponent in every transition.
All right, so inside the open guard of his opponent. You got to be careful playing around for too long here on the ground with this guy. Covington ground and pound from half guard. All right, he's very comfortable fighting off his back, DC. Now looks like he's trying to hip escape.
Yeah, he's trying to hip escape or maybe look for a Kimura here.
15 seconds remain in the round. Lands a strike now from the bottom. Nice work there by Covington. And he's back up again. So the takedowns have been there, as have the get-ups.
Nice. Good body shot.
Hey, stop. Last round coming up. You got 5 minutes.
All right, let us now look back at some of the highlights from that round, and there just aren't that many guys on this roster that can keep up this offensive wrestling pace over 15 or 25 minutes.
But he's one of those guys. He is one of those guys that's able to continuously take you down even if you get up over and over. He has this ability to maintain that pace and pressure that he can wear his opponents down. That's why you see him get so many finishes as the fight. Take it for a ride. Nice double leg, nice finish.
Fist here by Usman. All right, so you got to be careful playing on the ground with this guy. You don't want to mess around for too long. He's having his way with him here. All right, he's got the hooks in, DC, working off of his back.
Now look for him to attack the neck of his opponent to try to get the rear choke.
Well, you know, I don't like the gi very much, but I have an appreciation and a healthy one for these type of transitions.
You can tell he's been in a gi at some point in his life with the way that he moves so freely.
I'm skipping jiu-jitsu next week, too. All right, working inside the closed guard now. This is no safe place against this opponent. Well, he's more than content to work off of his back, DC, where he has been a magician in his UFC career. All right, he's trying to control posture here. Now trying to hip escape.
He's just trying to move out of this position off the bottom.
Well, anytime you are in a ground fighting situation with this fighter, you're potentially playing with fire. Bottom fighter trying to control posture, unable to do so.
And now he's in a lot of danger. He's got to grab that head or he's going to get blasted.
All right, half guard position for him here, and
He jumps on a headlock. We call this in wrestling just a headlock, and if you're not careful, you can get stuck in an arm triangle.
Nicely done. Pretty good work with the strikes here off of his back by Usman. Oh, big combination of ground and pound strikes here, DC. This could be the beginning of the end.
I mean, you got to be very careful when you take these big ground and pound strikes. You need a controlled posture on the bottom, and if you're the top guy, the guy that's looking to finish, continue to gain posture and rain down big strikes with your opponent. Oh, right in the mount.
Good work from the top here by Usman. All right, well, both fighters pretty comfortable on the ground, DC, but you got to be very careful hanging out here for too long if you're his opponent. All right, working inside his opponent's guard here.
You cannot sit in these jiu-jitsu guys' guards, and you can't have one arm in, one arm out. Guys will start throwing up legs, chasing triangles.
Keeping busy here off of his back. Nice offense from the bottom. All right, operating inside the closed guard now. Oh, nice job to reverse position on the ground. Covington's got the back, going for the rear naked choke.
He is doing a really good job of relaxing, not panicking because he's getting choked. Yeah, notice he just took the body triangle, readjusted the lock, and now it looks like he's got it.
Wow. All right, side control now, DC. When you get side control in a fight, what are you looking for?
When I get to the side control in the fight, and I believe this young man should do the same thing, it's secure first. Grab everything in tight. Make sure your elbows are in. Make sure you've got something locked in so your opponent doesn't just squirm away. Punch short punches, but try to make the opponent make a choice. Either he turns back into you, you take your front headlock, or he turns in the opposite direction, you throw your hook in, and you start looking to get a choke off.
Well, this is exactly
what a takedown.
All right, bottom fighter here, maybe looking to hip escape, DC. Usman's got the full mount. All right, so he postures up here and now figures to rain down some ground strikes.
Yeah, the ground and pound will be aplenty from this position.
45 seconds remain in the round. All right, he's in a half-guard position here, DC, and in a good spot to dole out a lot of damage, I would think.
A lot of damage can be done from the half-guard. You sit back on that leg, you press down into your opponent, you drop elbows, you drop punches. What is very key is you controlling the underhook on the far side. If you give up that underhook, your opponent can use the half-guard to build up to an elbow.
Right there, the seminal blow of the fight.
I mean, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect, John. Great placement on that uppercut.
Now goes in and secures the takedown. All right, good movement by him here on the ground. He really is a master of these transitions.
He is a master of movement on the ground. You never know where he's going to be.
All right, so as many expected, this fight goes the distance, but a lot of action in there, particularly when it comes to his offensive wrestling.
I mean, he wrestled at a really high level tonight. He knew that his opponent was going to get back to his feet if he got taken down. But he was so committed to the takedown, to the pressure, to the grind, they say, that he was able to really wear him down and get the victory.
The official decision is in. It resides with Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score the contest 30-27, declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Kamaru, the Nigerian Nightmare, Usman!
All right, so there he is. The celebration is